I play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes get wiped out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Tip Off. I am your host. You already know, Iceman and Eskimo. Y'all see who I got in the building? Leaf is in the building, folks. What's good?
What's good with the ice, man? Good to be on the show, man. Well, we gotta look like we gonna be running this back a couple more times, bro. Like we just gotta, swap our ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we on the same page, and then like we could fall out. You know what I'm saying? It's like the waves in the ocean right now. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
I feel you. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to all that. You heard?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about this um Celtics versus Nets game, and we're gonna talk about Atlanta game, and then we're gonna get into the facts and the details or everything else. So what you think about the Celtics, us versus Celtics 115-113?
The Celtics game, obviously, that was the night of what we found out. Cam Thomas was going to be out for the rest of the season, of course. But I felt as if that game was more about a lot of what a lot of unknown players could do. We found out more about Maxwell Lewis that night. We found out
We
that
did.
he's indeed an athlete. As you said he was. I'm gonna definitely give you your solidation. He's the athlete that you said he was. Um and under Jordy's tutelage, bro, like you've seen a whole lot more. You've seen a lot of effort. You're seeing that Jordy could find a lot of effort players like he found in a Keon Johnson for at least for this season. And just in terms of effort, like he found in Jalen Wilson, just in terms of effort, just like he found in Zaire Williams. Just to speak on those players, I want to speak more on those players later on, but just in terms of that game, Cam Johnson was getting a little bit fed up. It was like I had a couple of people that told me, bro, yo, our team is we got a nice gritty team. We're not a nice young team. We just can't win because one of the reasons why we don't got no respect on the whistle, and Cam Johnson was getting a little bit fed up that night in the game of which we're gonna talk about. But we couldn't really do nothing about Porzingis in the fourth quarter, which was a given. I mean, obviously, this is a 7'2" dude, get a shot over anybody. We know what he can do. But I thought we
Right.
challenged well. I don't really expect us to play like that again against the Celtics. It's the Celtics, you know what I'm saying? So they the champs.
Right.
But I like the effort with a lot of the unknown players, Maxwell Lewis in particular. Your man Tyrese Martin, which you also co-sign. He
Yep.
could he could have his nights. He could have his nights when his shot is on, his shot is off. But he's shown a lot more. He's getting a little bit more comfortable with his offense. Um, I thought a lot about that game. Nothing in particular. I kind of knew he was gonna lose, but I mean, we played a lot of the top teams tough. I didn't really expect as much as I expected, but it went the way it went. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the thing that I noticed too. When I check the standings, a lot of the top West teams, we played pretty, and we got a lot of wins against them. Our wins come from the top West Coast teams. Like the bottom, like the East Coast teams give us trouble, but like the lower East Coast teams give us trouble. And that makes me think that one, the talent is good enough to play against certain teams. Like we match up against certain teams. I ain't gonna say talent's good enough, but we match up good against certain teams. And then there's certain teams that just give us, like Washington, give us problems. Like no matter how many times we play them, you know what I'm saying? We see how our defense is, we see how the players play, and it just seems like they got our number. Like we don't have enough to play against Washington. Like you said, they're younger, they're athletic, you know what I mean? And they just added two veterans. But I noticed that too. But I'm gonna say Zaire is like, to me, that's your boy, Zaire. He's good on defense, get in the passing lane. He had um 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. And I'm gonna say he's another one. Right now, he's been consistent. I say he's been consistent the way he plays. His scoring is up and down too. My guy Martin, like you said, his shot. But I like now that he's being more aggressive. And the more aggressive he gets, it just seems like he scores a little bit easier. He gets in the rhythm quicker. You know what I mean? And I'm like, all right, that's what I want to see from him. I know he could do that. I just don't like some of his passes. Sometimes he get lazy. He get lazy with that left hand, like pass. I'm like, bro, that's gonna get picked off every time. But another one, Jalen Wilson. I think Jay Wills need a point guard. That's my thought process on Jay Wills. I said it on my last podcast that I had. Jay Wills needs a point guard. As you said, I give you props for that. Like Ben Simmons, someone Jay Wills to me, he needs a facilitator point guard. I'm gonna just leave it like that. A point guard that facilitates because he can create a little bit of offense, but he's more like a line drive angle guy. You give him an angle, and he's good. Once he's got a turn or spin, like he's not gonna do too much after that. He's gonna pass it out or something like that. So I say he needs a point guard. Keon, he's been all right, on and off too. Like all the guys been on and off. Certain games they give you something. Certain games they won't. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it is for us right now, and that's
Yeah,
why we going into the draft. You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely. Just to speak a little bit more about a lot of the players that we talked about already. It's like you were saying. Offensively, we not expecting those dudes to be on every night. We're not expecting those dudes to be, 70%. We had games where we went 50% in the first half, 20 or something assists, and then we go light in the second. The one thing I could say about a lot of those guys that you mentioned, almost every last one of them is giving effort. They
Right.
giving motor. They giving energy. They giving they running. They basically running through a wall for Jordy. You know what I'm saying? And whether it's for them to stay in the league and get a contract, or whether they believe in them, they doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's clear to me that Jordy knows how to find energy guys. He knows how to find utility guys and bench guys and point POA defense guys, passing lane guys, and guys that's going to give effort. What we need to do now, realistically, is find a goddamn starting five. This is ridiculous, but I mean, we need a legitimate starting five. We could get a bench. We could get role players anytime. Jordy figured out already how to do that. I think it's time for us to figure out if we get a starting five, which we're gonna get to later on in the segment, obviously, man, because I got a lot on my mind. So
All right.
you
We're
already
gonna let's
know
get
it.
to this Atlanta game. Let's get to this Atlanta game real quick. We won against Atlanta, 122-114. And the fellas played good. Another one, Maxwell Lewis, he did all right this game. 10 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound. Watford played decent. I'm gonna get to Watford. Me and you on the same page with Watford. Watford
Mhm.
had 13 points, 5 assists, 1 rebound. Keon Johnson, 22, 5, and 8. Martin, 16, 3, and 6. Claxton, 7 and 6, 2 assists. Jay Wills, 13, 6, and 4, and Cam Johnson, 28, 7, and 4 rebounds. You know what I mean? So they balled out. The team played well together. Everyone contributed. I missed out Dayron. Dayron had 8 and 7 too. Don't let me miss out Dayron because everyone's talking about Dayron's plus minus.
Yes.
I think he had the highest plus minus on the team. And Reese, I'm gonna speak on Reese too. Reese Bigman, 5, 1, and 3. Now I said this before. A lot of people haven't seen Reese Beekman play, and I was like, "Who the hell is Reese Beekman?" So I had to go look, and what he was doing for the Warriors, he was
Mhm.
hooping, and
Mhm.
what he does in the G League, he be hooping. But what he does for us on this level, like I told people, I think he. It seems like he doesn't have the go ahead. The way Killian started playing first, shy, timid, pass the ball. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do the scoring.
Right.
Reese can score. He
Yeah.
doesn't look like it up here. I don't think he's a real 3-point guy like that. I seen him shoot the three in the G League. Like I said, he's dropping triple doubles, double doubles in the G League. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So he does pretty good with his competition. So I think Reese is like kind of like a borderline NBA G League guy. He's like right in
Yeah.
between. And I
Yeah.
think that's why they gave him a chance to see what he can do. I like Maxwell. My guy Martin is Martin. I think Martin comes back. Jay will be a point guard, and I'll let you take over from there.
Yeah, absolutely what you said. But to speak on the Atlanta game, I think what it was is our pressure defense in the second half on Trey Young, our trap defense on Trey Young, it worked. It worked to a
Fact.
T because you are obviously we already know Trey Young is undersized and he kind of a one trick pony. If he can't get to that step back or if he can't get to the flail in his arms and get to a foul, he really don't have nothing offensively. Dyson Daniels, we did turn the
Problem.
ball over a bit in the first half, and Dyson Daniels kind of led the charge for their defense. But in the second half, Cam Johnson just one more time he got pissed off. He got pissed off with the whistle. He thought he had a 4-point play. They turned it into three. I on specifically on that play, and I'm gonna talk more about that play. I thought Dyson Daniels did as good as a job that he could do. I got to give him credit. I thought he did as good as a job that he could do of moving out the way of the shooting space. Because if you've seen the
He
play
did.
again, the way that he moved and swerved around, he tried to swerve around Cam Johnson's foot. What
Right.
the referee saw that Cam Johnson got his foot out, so that's why they
Right.
didn't give him the +1. So
Right.
he went back, and as the first half was ending, he was getting pissed off because he thought he had a foul at the end of the first half, going as the clock was expiring, and that's when he got
Yep.
really ticked off. And Jordy was trying to calm him down, the team was trying to calm him down, and basically he just said, "Screw it." And this fourth quarter come up, I'm shooting everything and I'm hitting everything, man. And he ended up with 28 and 7. You talked about we talked about Dayron having the highest plus minus, and he had the
Yeah.
highest plus minus in 17 minutes because that's
Right.
what his rebounding obviously was very effective in that game in the second half.
Yep.
His second chance opportunities was key in that second half. His opportunities in the paint around the basket, he got a little bit better in that in pick and dive situations. In the dunk box, he got better at that,
Yep.
finishing around the basket. Um, then we talked about the guy that's surprising us all, and the guy that you talked about, Maxwell Lewis. He had the
Yeah.
second plus highest on our team in the game, and he had
Ball.
another double
Yeah.
digit game in back to back nights. That's key for a guy that been sitting on the bench, and then you finally
All
tell him to
season.
go in and get NBA minutes. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
look at that, and then I look at our overall defense. Keon Johnson, I got to give him a lot of respect as a defender. I got to give it because as a defender, he's giving constant effort. You look at the assignments
Right.
that he had in the past weeks. That game against Golden State, he had that
Yeah.
Steph Curry matchup, and he made Steph Curry irritated right
Work.
from the get go.
Yeah. It made him work.
Right on
Yeah. It
work
made him
right from
work.
the get go, and that's what you want from your from your guard defenders, and that's something
Right.
that we have. And the thing about it, I won't be surprised if Keon Johnson gets a contract because it's rare to find that type of young guy that's going to devote that energy night in and night out to the defensive end, even if his shot ain't falling. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So the thing that I'm getting now from our effort guys, once again, I'm gonna say
Hmm.
this is like kind of the highlight of the show right now. Effort, energy, hustle type of guys. We got them. We know where to
Yeah.
find them. We know
Yo.
how to get them.
At the beginning of the season, when I first started my podcast, I said, pay attention to what works with Jordy. A lot of hustle guys. He likes defense, but the hustle guys work the best. You just got to have like your Ben Simmons or Dennis was all right, but you got to have your facilitator guy with the hustle guys. You know what I mean? So,
You saying?
yeah. So your hustle guys is what works best with Jordy. And I said that earlier. Ben Simmons, the reason I like Ben because he facilitates. He ain't looking to score. And if you got a lot of runners and a lot of corner shooting guys and the guys that get down the slashers like we got now, like a point guard. I know why you like Yegor. We're gonna get to that, but a point guard like that is what I said. You know what I'm saying? Works best with these guys. High flying, defensive, hustle guys works best in this offense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think, and the thing is, I understand the athletic portion of how the team works, and Jordan could get the most out of these athletic guys. We seeing him getting the most out of Maxwell Lewis in these past two games and he been sitting, basically been waiting his turn. And now Zaire basically got a somewhat of like a sore kind of light Achilles injury or whatever the case may be. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. I didn't get the injury report, but the reality is that Jordy knows how to find those light work guys, those dirty work type of guys. The only thing we need now is high level skill type of players, those skills that you can't teach. And one of the reasons why I now know, and I've been blowing my mind up, I now know why you were so high on Ben Simmons, because he has something that you couldn't teach.
Right. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Correct. He has something that you couldn't teach. Cam Thomas, he got something that you can't teach, and we're gonna get to him. Tyrese Martin has turned into I don't get a IDGAF type of shooter. You know what I'm saying? Right. Wilson is turning into an IDGAF type of shooter, and he's working on the hustle plays. You can see him go out there, go chase after rebounds, go get the second chance points. He ain't get a dunk yet, but hey, listen, he going out there and giving effort. You know what I'm saying? So listen, another thing that I wanted to key on, and obviously you already know how I want the draft to go, but I seen how you did your draft board. I was highly disappointed. That was just me. But the one elephant in the room that we haven't really talked about was in what would happen in the event that we actually do get Cooper.
Right.
Like that's like the biggest elephant in the room, because it seems like most of the people around our circle and everybody outside of Nets land, bro, they believe we getting Coop. I mean, I don't want Coop, because I already know the responsibility that come with it. Because the thing is, I'm under the impression if the NBA is going to give you the number one pick, that means they want you to change stuff around that dude early and often. Uh-huh. And with the money that we got in the cap space and the position that we in to make trades, because I'm solely over the fence. I'm in the doghouse. If we get Coop, CJ is out of here. CJ can't be here. CJ can't be here. Now everybody gonna tell me, yo, Coop could play the floor. Just, bruh, you don't want your rookies to play the tough spots. You want to protect your rookies. Your number one picks, you protect them at all costs. Go look at what San Antonio was doing with Wemby. Go look at the teams in the past that protected their number one picks. They protect them. You don't just throw them in the doghouse and just tell them to fend for themselves. That's not how. If they give Cooper Flag to us, they're looking for a protection gate. They looking for something that rock solid. That's what they looking for. So I wanted to speak more on that, actually, because so now that we on that subject.
On Flag?
I guess now that we on the Flag
we can speak on Flag.
Yeah. I guess now that we on the Flag subject. So in the event that we do pick up Cooper, that we do get Cooper Flag in his draft, I think, this is just me, this is just my thoughts, I think that we need to pivot the roster a week after the draft. 1 week after the draft, we need to pivot this roster. Yo, listen, I said it. Yo, any Nets fan could quote me on this, bro. Like, this is just my opinion. I think if we get Cooper, not anybody else. If I don't get like number 2, number 3, that's what I want. I want everybody know I want Ace. Everybody want to know I want Jaeger. But if we get Cooper, I think that we as a front office are going to go right in the into a free agency right after the draft. Moves. Constant moves is going to be getting made. Constant. And I'll be honest with you, we might mess around and get a star from one of these other teams while we at it. Listen, call me crazy, bro, but I think we're going to pivot that direction to making Cooper Flag and putting some type of legitimate pieces around him early. Right. I strongly believe that, man. I don't know how you think about it with just in terms of Cooper. I know how you feel about our draft, and you did your draft board and everything, but in terms of Cooper, I think we're gonna pivot right away.
Nah, see, I don't think so, right? Because it's so many young guys, and Coop gonna be a standout guy. He comes here, he's similar, like everyone. He's similar to Ben. He don't pass like Ben. He got the IQ. He can play a little bit point forward, create a little bit. You know what I mean? Defense is his main thing. So when he comes to this team, he's gonna stand out. And then once he starts standing out, you're gonna figure out what you actually need around him. Because you know what I mean? He's not exactly Ben, but you know what I'm saying? Like you need to know, okay, like I need a if I slide him to the four, do I need a better forward than Clowney? Do I need a, like you said, a skilled guy? Do I need a skilled center for him? You know what I'm saying? Do I need a back to the basket? Do I need a Zach Edey? Do I need a one of them type guys? You know what I'm saying? So when you see how he's playing and working within the team, then you make decisions to be like, all right, his first year we did this. I think he needs this, and this, right? But as you said, I don't want to skip too far, but I think we're gonna stay the same with the draft picks, depending on how many we pick, and then next year, because I don't think we're gonna be that good. I think once we draft, and if we get another high lottery pick, then I think they will start maneuvering a little better after that. I think you give them 1 year, and then we go to the next draft, see what happens. If we're not gonna be that good, and then after that, then I think we pivot. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think that most likely could happen, but I'm once again over the fence again. If you put Cooper Flag with Jordy Fernandez, we win in at least 30-something games.
Yo,
bro, listen. Hey, we done won 20-something. We was on the verge of winning 25 plus with Struder. When we had Struder, Struder lineup. If we get this kid with his mindset of just getting better, he got better offensively and playing within the sets and play. We already know he's probably one of the most ultimate plug and play players in this draft.
He is,
and he's going number one. So
is.
You can put him anywhere, and he'll be fine. So my thing is that with his ability to want to play, and to want to learn, and to want to get better. My thing is, if you put Jordy in his hand, if you put him in Jordy's hands, that's minimum 30 wins.
Right.
That's the 30-win team right there. So if everybody's scared that we ain't gonna get number one with 22 wins, that 23 wins that we got now, when we get 30 wins, we gonna be pissed off. There's gonna be people in our circle that's gonna be pissed off. Ice, I'm telling you. Listen, as God is my witness. It's going to be people that's going to be pissed off if we don't bottom out next year, if we're not a contending team. So to me, it's best to contend almost right away because, one, we got plenty of money to play with in the offseason. Two, Cam Thomas is like the biggest question mark in terms of how much money is he going to get signed, because he's on a restricted deal. And you know when you get restricted contracts, a team could just throw you money out their back pocket for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And number three, the thing is, we still got players with contracts that other teams is looking for. The Lakers, teams like the Lakers, they want a guy like Clax. Teams like the Atlanta Hawks, they want a guy like Claxton. Teams like the Thunder or Milwaukee, they want a guy like Cam Johnson. They want them. So, but the thing is, we got to find out what's best for us in terms of how we going to maneuver and how we going to move forward. So my thing is, this time around, when we got the opportunity to trade up those contracts that I just said, those said contracts, we got an opportunity to get not as young, but younger players enough to like that mid 24, 25, 23 type of area, or 26 type of area that is willing to learn under Jordy and willing to be a competent team. I see us somehow, some way, if we get Cooper Flag, this shit is going to turn. This roster is going to turn around quickly.
I don't think so. I still don't think so, because
don't be crazy.
I know what you're saying. I see the picture. But the way I see it is, unless you keep in Cam, right? Unless you keep somebody like Cam Johnson, and you get a let me see, a better Clowney, and you get a better Nick Claxton. Like that's the only way I see the team turn around because they gonna find a point guard. They might mess around and sign Struder back or something. You know what I mean? They go find
Mhm.
somebody to run point, right? They gonna find somebody. So I think that power forward, like you said, you need a skilled, and then you need a center that's either skilled at something. You know what I'm saying? Because Coop ain't
Mhm.
gonna give you, he not gonna give you scoring right away. Like I don't think he's dropping 20. It's possible. I ain't knocking him, but depends on how you use him and what you let him do, right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I think building a roster is them guys too on the bench, depending on who you keep, unless you know what I'm saying, if they draft all five guys, they're gonna be, you know what I mean? We're gonna take some time, but they're gonna be hooping because Jordy, yeah,
Yeah.
Jordy could get me to hoop, and I'm crippled right now.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Jordan could get me out of my chair, bro. I ain't pick up a basketball in like 7, 8 years, and he could get me back in the gym. Like good work. Like you go to Jordy training camp, bro. You gonna feel like you could be MVP.
Right.
Like for real. Like I mean, listen, I'm and you and well, listen. My thing is when you talk about everybody keep talking about the development side of things. My thing is like these guys just needed a chance. Bro, you was
Huh?
telling me about these dudes in the G League and what they could do and this, that, and the third.
Right.
They just getting minutes. These dudes
Right.
is
You're
now
right.
playing NBA game time minutes in the last
Right.
two games. Two games in 2 nights.
Right.
Boston, the defending champions, Atlanta, another playoff team. We
Right.
are playing they are playing NBA minutes. It's only 400 spots in the NBA and the 30 teams.
Right.
So when you
And
on that court, whatever you know how to do, Jordy is just like, all right, yo, we ain't got time. Like, yo, listen, you know how to do something? Go ahead out there and do it. Yo, you know how to get in passing lanes. Yo, you can run. You athletic. And I see the way Maxwell Lewis was moving. It wasn't that smart, but he was moving up and down the damn court. You know, like, all right, yo, I'm out here. I'm out here. I'm playing for a spot. And, you know, I'm ready. I'm ready, coach. What you need me to do? It's almost like, yo, what do you need me to do, coach? Type of mentality from these players.
right.
And maybe I'm
And
not
that
getting that from all of the players, bro, but I'm getting it from most of them.
no, you spot on with that because I did say, about the G Leagues, what they could do, and they are
Mm-hmm.
getting the opportunity, and they playing good against competition,
Yes, they
right?
are.
So you know what I'm saying, they playing well against competition. We just don't got a complete roster. You know what I mean? Like we don't got a complete roster, as you were saying. So like you're right, opportunity means everything for certain players. If you got the skill, Tyrese, Maxwell Lewis, Keon Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
you need to show it when you get out there, and they are showing. Some people still iffy on them, you know what I mean? But to me,
Right.
if Keon was on the bench, if Tyrese was on the bench, and now getting a glimpse of Max, if they're on the bench, I'm fine with them on the bench. They're not. I don't think they necessarily starters or anything like that. But if they give you
Right.
15 or 10 off the bench, that's exactly what you need from your bench. You know what I mean? You need a guy. Hey, go out there and give me a couple buckets, hit me a couple threes real quick. You know what I'm saying? Get us back in the game or something, and you can do that. Go ahead.
I go even further and say what's the most important from our bench is our effort and our energy on the defensive level. Because if we could go up against other second units and stop them and get key stops and scoring, and you could keep that Zaire in the game and closing minutes because you know he could hit a shot down the stretch, even if he go 1 for 7 throughout 3 quarters, and you could keep a Keon in the game because you know his point of attack defense is still legitimate throughout 4 quarters. Hey, hey, Ice, we came off of February where we was number 2 in defensive efficiency. We
Right,
came. That's what we came up off of. We was
right.
holding teams under the guard. This shit was looking like the '90s. We
But
had
that's
this shit
what
look
I
like the
was.
'90s, bro. Like so. I mean, I get a vision of what our team could look like defensively, and it seemed like we moving more to that side more than just all right. Let's score a buck 40, and if the other team score a buck 30, we just all right. Whatever. We just live with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, I mean, I see. It seemed to me like we going more to that defensive side of the ball where it looks like, yo, the final version of this team is gonna look like the 2014 Spurs or the 2004 Pistons. There, I said it.
defense, defense. wins championships. You know what I
Yes.
mean? But it could because Tyrese plays defense. He's not. Some people think I seen on Twitter. Some people think that Tyrese could be just as pesty as Keon on defense. And I know in the G League they were saying that's what he's known for. Is his defense. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It hasn't really shown. He does a little hustle plays or get a little steal here and play passing lanes a little bit. But in the G League, that was his main thing. Was we know he can play defense. He can get to the NBA floor just playing with his defense, but he needed to be more consistent with his shooting. And now he's, you know what I'm saying? You see a little bit more consistency with his shots.
I do see a little bit more consistency with his shots, but I see a little bit more confidence with his shots as well. And
Right.
I think Keon is obviously the better athlete. Keon is obviously the better athlete on our team, bro. We talking he got a 48-inch vertical, bro. Like, come on. Like, he obviously the better athlete on our team. Like, I
To
mean,
speak
yeah, yeah,
to
Keon.
speak right. To speak about Keon real quick, right? In the G League, they had him closing games. Keon was the
Mm-hmm.
closer for the G League team, and
Mm-hmm.
they just give it to him and let him create, get where he got to go. But Keon would do things like he would try to use his athleticism the wrong way. He would drive all the way to the basket and thinking like
Right.
he would do things like you think Kobe would do, but he's like 6'4". You know what I mean? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So he would go to run down, get down to the paint, and then turn his back, try to do a pump fake, you know what I'm saying, shimmy, and that would he would get stuck. So now in the NBA, he doesn't do that. You know what I mean? But every once in a while, you know what I'm saying, he try to make a move, Euro step, or try to you know what I'm saying, lay up quickly. So he stopped that from the G League because I'm like, man, that's not working for you. You know what I mean? That's not how you can't do that because you're small, and
Right.
guys are 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". You're not gonna shoot over them like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what they had him doing. So I know he could do things. So I seen him close in the G League.
Right, right, right. Yeah, definitely. But I feel like once we get our starting five, our legitimate starting five, and those guys get in it, and those guys, if those guys are still here,
Uh
knock
huh.
on wood, if those guys are still here, I think they're going to be in their set roles and they're going to be in their set assignments as players. I mean, they're going to be called like maybe they'll call on to hit a 3 point shot, go take an isolation bucket, this, that, and the third. Because I think that Jordy has that open mind to like, hey, yo, you just trust yourself, just trust what you're doing, just make sure we get back on defense. Just make sure on defense we know what we're doing, we communicate, and we all locked in. So the offensive side of the ball, I see more as a free flowing type of offense. You know what I'm saying? Like until we get that player that's going to command all the attention, if we get that one guy that's going to command all the attention, or if we, I think we leaning towards getting a starting five that could do a little bit of everything, but that lock in, that communication on the defensive end, making sure everything is one chance rebounds, making sure we win the rebound battle, making sure we win everything inside. We can't worry about the fouls too much, man, because we done gave up. We done played the Hawks earlier this season. They shot almost 50 something free throws. We done played Denver.
Right.
They shot almost 50 something free throws. So we ain't getting respect on
Right.
the whistle. We ain't worried about that until we get a player
That's a
that
fact.
commands that. Until we get somebody that commands that, then we'll worry about that all after the fact. But it seemed like the only thing we missing is a legitimate starting five on this team. We can get bench players, we can get role players, we can get defenders, we can get effort, energy guys, we can get low contract guys. We have to get a starting five that's going to abide to that same type of mentality, that run through the wall mentality for Jordy, and we got to assert it in our starting five and build that cohesive unit from there, from 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10, because Jordy like playing 1 through 10. So if we could do that within the next 2 years, we golden. Like we got everything rolling. We rolling.
Yeah, for sure. And I want everybody to understand winning these games is not about how many starters you got in because last is it was only two starters last game. And I pointed out, shout out to Gary, you know what I mean? But you only had Cam Johnson and Claxton. You win in the game with your bench guys. That's what you winning with. And you can't be mad at winning with G Leaguers and your bench
No,
guys. Bro, you gotta understand that's tanking at its best. You know what I'm saying?
to
Like you
me it
can't
is.
be
It's just
mad at that.
Yeah, to me it is. It's just those guys is just playing for contracts. They playing for their NBA lives.
Right.
Like, they not gonna get on the court and be like, "Oh, all right, I guess we losing or whatever." Because if you got that, then you got an even bigger problem. Now you got to rebuild the whole damn roster because don't nobody want to play because they feel like they gonna lose. So
Facts.
they don't have,
Facts.
yo, we gonna lose this game in their mind. They got, yo, I'm out here. Let's try to win. Let's do this. Yo, we came 2 points within the Celtics. Okay, we could go on that. Yo, we played the Thunder early. We played them tough. We played the Cavs tough. Let's stop. Even the games where we was losing, you go back to the losing streak, Ice, when we was losing games by double digits handily, and teams wasn't even messing around with us. You go back to those games, I didn't see the let's give up the rest of the season, let's throw it in. I didn't see that mentality because if you don't get that mentality from the coaching side, then you ain't gonna get that mentality from the players, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So if the players got that, yo, hey, look, listen, we gotta go out here and compete. Yo, if we gonna lose, we gonna lose, but we gonna go out here and fight. Like we gonna kick something, throw some sand, something. You know what I'm saying? So that like that's what I need the tankers to understand. The people that's pro tank of this season in our circle, the thing is, we didn't do that. All of our losing, all of our effort came organically, and we still bottom 5 in the league. So
Facts.
if that don't get you a top 3 pick, I don't know what does.
Yo, I wouldn't say top three, but yes, if you playing and yeah, and we winning games like that, yeah, you gotta be in top five at least. You know what I mean? We get top three, I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Speaking of that
you
though.
already know what I want. I'm not changing my mind about nothing, man. You already know what I want.
Speaking of that though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I want Ace. That's my guy.
Mhm.
That's my guy. On that app, the joint that I did my draft and Dylan did his on. So I figured out what
Yeah.
I did, but still it took a long time for me to get top three doing a
Right.
simulation. But I got it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes they would even leave Coop on the board. They would take Ace and Dylan first and leave Coop. I'm like, yo, for the I end up drafting Coop. You know what I'm saying? It was wild. But news, there's a skill guy the guy that I sent you, Maxim Reynard,
Oh yeah,
the
Maxim Rayon.
Nets, I think it was Nets Daily reported that they are interested in him. Maximum
Mm.
Reynard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Maxim
So
Rayon. Yeah.
he is a skilled big. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
he
Shoot
is.
the three, create from the
Mhm.
three,
Mhm.
post game, midi. You know what I'm saying? He could do all that. He's not a real defender. A shot blocker, I mean. He's not a real rim
Yeah.
protector, but he could play defense and his offense is legit. You know what I'm saying? He lead whatever college thing he's in. He
Mhm.
leads that in rebounding and scoring. I think he's second in scoring, but he leads it in rebounding. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. Right.
And he's a senior. And I just found out that he was a walk on.
Yeah. Yeah. He was. Yeah. He was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second, like I think the third to last video that you sent me on Twitter, bro, it said he was a walk on. I had to look in the caption because people was like throwing stuff in the comments and everything, like in the original comments, and they said he was a
Mhm.
walk on. So I did catch on to that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but he was a walk on for sure.
So that goes to show we know what we talking about. Lee said we need a skills guy, and the Nets is looking at a skill guy. Now I don't know how many skill guys they looking at, but that dude, he's 7'1", and he's skilled. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
his
nah, he
potential, he
is.
still got potential. He still got
Yes, he does.
potential because he's a walk on. You know what I mean? For college,
Hmm.
and he leading in scoring and rebounding.
I would say this. In terms of the draft, I don't know how many of skill players in this draft is going to replace players on an upcoming roster or for the Nets or any
Uh huh.
upcoming roster in the next 1 to 2 years, however the case may go. But I do know I want Ace and Jaeger. I do know I want
All right,
Ace and Diego ahead of that pack. So I
we
already
gonna.
know that for sure. That's what I do know. I'm not leaving that.
All right, so I'm looking at the mock draft thing right here. So Ace is still in 3.
Uh huh.
Yegor is at 15 on Tankathon. This is on Tankathon. He's at 15.
15?
Yeah,
15?
he's at 15. You know what I'm
I,
saying? So
I
it'd be
thought he was
tough
gonna go lower.
lower. I don't know if he's gonna drop lower. It may change because that tournament is coming up.
Yeah.
They say Ace may drop. I don't know if he's gonna drop. Some people think he's a lock too. And VJ might move up one, but who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with you. I'm not so high on Yegor, but I understand why. I'd rather my guy Jeremiah and Ace, but
Mm-hmm. Right.
top 3, I want Ace. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Yeah, yeah, for
have the
sure.
guy with potential to do
Yes.
everything. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
I keep
And
saying, I, I keep telling them, if you look at the numbers, his numbers is not that far off from Coop's numbers. They're
no.
damn near the same except for the assists, and Coop is on a better team. And I keep saying, you put Ace on Duke, there's no telling how many buckets he would drop on Duke. You know what I mean? Like
None.
the floor is spaced a little bit more. He has better people around him, better players.
Mm-hmm.
I think his scoring goes up. You know what I mean?
I would say the only way his scoring would go up is if he's put in like the position that Con Canepa was in, but more spot ups and more like inside the wing and inside that free throw line area and then outside a little bit because his catch and shoot game is elite already
Right.
for 6'10". That's number one. Number two, the thing is when you playing for Duke, you basically got to play in the system. So nobody really goes off for Duke. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody really going that crazy, wow, super crazy for Duke like that, man. Like you do a little bit of everything in a Duke setting. That's how they always play. Go back to Coach K. You can go back however many years you want to go. That's how they always play. You can go back to Grant Hill. You can go back to anybody. That's how they always play. So I would say that in that aspect. But the thing is, when we look in this draft, we look at skill sets that's going to translate right away. Like right away, right off the rip. You ain't got it. The only thing you got to get them adjusting to is training camp and how you run and how you condition and how you condition your body for an 82 game season. Obviously, everybody ain't playing 82 games, but 70 something games and the game incentive, whatever the case may be. So the thing is, once you go through a Jordy Fernandez basically conditioning program camp, you start to
Mm-hmm.
see who's ready, who could last, whose health is gonna hold up, and whose bodies is gonna hold up. One of the players that I was really concerned with going into Jordy Fernandez training camp was Noah Clowney because
Mm-hmm.
Noah Clowney, he's still young. He's still what 20, about to be 21 years old, however. And the thing is, you basically like kind of the way that Jordy likes. I can see with the players that Jordy plays now this late in the season, what type of conditioning you have to be in to play how many plus games you want to play for him. Maxwell Lewis, Keon, it's no secret why Maxwell Lewis and Keon Johnson and Zaire Williams have been getting the minutes that they've been getting. It's no secret. So the thing is, with Clowney and with the rookies that's coming in, I think Jalen Wilson lasted. He impressed me. He very much impressed me, bro. Like he outlasted a lot more than I think he was gonna do because obviously he won the MVP in a summer league, and then he kind
Uh-huh.
of just stayed the course after that. He didn't let bad shooting nights get to him. If he's shooting bad, yo, get downhill, try to get a bucket. I think he could get downhill in transition. Your man Tyrese Martin, he taking advantage and taking it coast to coast, getting downhill. He ain't settling for the shot all day. He made some
Right.
key plays last night, the up and under pass. I see him. I see what he did. Yo, he
You see
did that
that?
shit. Yeah, I see the shit he did the bounce pass. So I'm like, yo, these dudes is getting more and more confidence offensively. The thing is, I think that Jordy wants them to do keep hustling, keep going after the 50-50 plays, keep defending, do your thing, bro. Yo, you out there to be agile, to be energy. Yo, we not quitting on plays. We not laying down. He calls timeout immediately when he sees some shit like that. So even Dayron, and I can see Dayron is another person, bro, that's kind of struggling with the health regiment because I see the way he moving up the court, and I'm like, yo, Dayron is hurt. I said it last night on my stream, and I don't know if you heard. I was like, yo, Dayron hurt. They got to get him out the game, and he was going back on defense. But the thing is, Dayron gonna fight to his last bone. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because he's still going after rebounds. He's still fighting for that second, third chance opportunities, and you can still see that hustle out of him. And another part of his game, bro, he the only person this year that had 25, 15, and 5 on our team. Come on, like I mean
Right.
that right there show you that yo, if we get some type of skill passer or scorer out of the draft, what you think he could do
Right.
under Jordy?
It's all questions. Right. It's all questions. I don't know the answer, but on the NBA.com, they got Yegor at 19. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
They got him at 19. They
that's a
got
good
on
spot.
Traore
That's a good
ahead of
spot.
him. Yeah, they got us at 6 picking Queen on NBA.com. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, skill guys. Skill guys is what we need. Ace is a skill guy. Coop is a skill guy. Dylan is a skill guy. Um, VJ is defense, athleticism,
VJ is
and
defense.
defense.
VJ, yeah, I think we could find VJ. We could find VJ anywhere. Like yo, bruh. I mean, no disrespect. I think VJ could reach his ceiling, but as of right now, if he come into the league right now, and if he come on our team, he would have to beat Keon Johnson out of a spot if he was still on the team. That's gonna be
Yeah,
his competition in the lineup. So he would
right,
have to do all the things that Keon Johnson do defensively and better, even offensively. So he'll have to do
right.
all of that. So
I
so
think it's
I think
possible for him to
I
do it.
think I think it's possible, but VJ for our team, he's something that we already have. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? We just don't have the best version of him. But he is
right,
something that we already had. So
right,
I think the players that fit with everything Jordy wants or Jordy could get and has already, and that he wants to continue forward with, and that's still somewhat on the team. You got to get the skilled players that Jordy don't need to coach. Jordy, I don't think Jordy would need to coach Yegor. Yegor gonna know how to find people at three different levels. He know like when you got a 3 level facilitator like that, that's borderline. That's borderline 2016 Joker. Cause go look at the passes that Joker was making in his rookie season. Behind the back, no look, finding easy reads down the court, pushing the break, those type of dudes. You know what I'm saying? So those things is plus for us, bro. A playmaker is a plus for us, bro. Like I know why now you was so high on Ben.
man.
I know
Yeah,
now. I now
yeah.
know. I now
It's im-
realize it, bro. And
it's
now
important.
Yegor to me is the person that's gonna fill in that spot. The only difference is we not paying him $40 million.
He ain't that quick either. He ain't fast.
No,
You know
no,
what I
no,
mean?
no,
He
no.
is
He ain't that
tall.
quick. He is
Yeah,
tall.
he ain't that quick, but he is tall. 6'9", point guard, best vision in the draft.
Hmm.
He's just not the best point guard. You know what I mean? But he got
No.
everybody got stuff to work on. He got stuff to
Yes.
work. I'm pretty sure. And I would say again, if Jordy gets someone like that, he will get them to work to their best ability. You know what I mean? So I ain't worried about nobody we drafting if they got issues doing whatever it is. I'm pretty sure Jordy would get it corrected. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't see Martin, I didn't see Keon, and they don't do a lot of things they did in the G League. You know what I'm saying? And them
No.
things is gone. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I'm pretty confident with anybody we draft that has
Yeah.
something that they got to work on or build on. Jordy will get it right. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
So
definitely.
they also on this on NBA.com. I'm not sure about everyone thinks Rasheer Fleming is going to go higher, but they got us drafting him at 23, and he is a skilled guy. He got some skills.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But about that, so I took a look at him. and I took a look at what's the other kid, Fleming and Sorba. I think Sorba has a little bit more upside than Fleming. I think Fleming has a good skill set. I think he could automatically be a good reserve type of player. I mean, I don't necessarily. He probably might start someday, but I see him being a reserve right out of the gate. You know, somebody that could come off the bench, show what he got in the NBA on the NBA court. Sorba, I think is a little bit more. You got to be a little bit more hands on. I see a little bit more. All right, low coaching staff, they get the chance to work with him. Get him to fill out like what he can do and what he's gonna be good at on the NBA level. Because the thing is like what you think you're gonna be good at on the NBA level, bro, you wind up being better at something else. So the thing with Sorber is that I think like with his upside, it could be it's kind of like a triple balance beam. It could be one or the other. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be like a little mixture of both. The thing with Fleming, I think Fleming will get a chance to use his skill set, but it depends on what type of team you're on to use it. Because I think a lot of teams will have their reserves and have their bench players, but I just think that when you coming into the league as a rookie, the main thing you got to do is just beat out the guy that's already ahead of you in the lineup. You know what I'm saying? So like you got to look at where these players go, and you got to look at who they going to be competing with once they get into said training camps. You know what I'm saying? If they get into a training camp and they ain't outworking a dude that's making what 2 million for 2 years, and they paying him cheap, and they could play him for 10 minutes a game, then they just gonna be sitting behind the bench until they do. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the NBA work. You know, you got to outwork the guy ahead of you. You know.
Facts. Sober. I think sober play style, like I keep saying, I think his play style is like Bam's play style. Mid range, post game, he could facilitate a little bit, but I think his game is like that. Yeah, and Rashier shooting 40% in college. You know what I'm saying? He can catch and shoot, knock down guy, and he's athletic. So, like you're saying, like his potential, he could possibly be a starter or something like that. Another question I got for you though, because this is what I've been looking at in the draft. I've been having troubles now that I'm thinking about how to build a team and stuff. The At Michigan State, they got Danny Wolf and they got Golden, 2 7-footers. Derek Queen been playing against him. That's good, but the 7-footers skills is too much. It's too much for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? Like, do you think now, as a power forward, you should go 6'11", 7 foot, 2 7-footers, um, like Memphis, Jaren Jackson, and Zach Edey. Um, who else got there? I think there's a few teams going towards that way. And now, you know what I'm saying? We got Clowney, I think he's 6'9", 6'10", 6'9". You know what I mean? And then who else is our power forward? Iwoma? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who our power
I
forward is.
mean,
You know,
like as far as I know, it's Clowney, Zaire. We might throw from here and there, but you 100% right about that. Ice teams are going back to that tall power forward that could block shots and could space out a little bit. It's almost like they looking for the Rasheed Wallace type of skill set at the four, and
right.
they still looking for your big body, rebound, heavy screen, roll to the basket, offensive rebound type of center. So I think that's an interesting point actually, because I think that would fit with our teams. It depends on how those skill sets work out, because we got that in Dayron, but Dayron is not a starter. You know what I'm saying? We got that in Dayron, but Dayron's not a starter. He gets in foul trouble too easy. We got that in Clowney, but Clowney is still like Clowney could start. We hopefully that he gonna start one day, but I mean in terms of consistency and health and what he's gonna be and what he's gonna fill out to be, it's still a question mark. So it's like I said, when it comes to our starting five, bro, we got a lot to work on, bro. Like we got a lot. We got a
Yeah,
whole lot, man. So
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I've been looking at because
this ain't no easy thing, bro. So
it's not. I've been looking at how to draft and playing around with that draft model, see what I can pick up. But I find it difficult when it gets down to the 4 spot and picking a 5 because I'm like, if the Nets like Reynard, he's not a real shot blocker, but he's a scorer. You know what I mean?
uh-huh.
Floor space to shoot the 3, not a real shot blocker. And then you got Clowney. Say you draft Ace and you got Clowney, and Clowney is starting for now, but like you said, you want a more skilled 4.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So would you draft, you know what I'm saying? Like, looking in the draft, a big skill 4 is Danny Wolf. Now, would you choose Danny Wolf and go with Reynard? Or would you go Danny Wolf and go with Kalkbrenner, who is the shot blocker? You know what I'm saying? The big center. He's 7'1", 250 something. Back to the he spaces the floor and he could create too. He's just not. I think Reynard is the more skilled offensive player, but
Mm-hmm.
he can score too. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been looking at. Like,
Yeah. So, about Danny Wolf. I think Danny
shut
Wolf
up.
has the op- I think Danny Wolf has the opportunity to be a solid big in this league and a solid starting big in this league. I see a little bit of clinging. I see a little bit of Donovan clinging and kind of a mix between him and Edie a little bit. He could do a little bit of what them guys could do. Knows how to play within a system. Knows how to play within a skill set and system, and pick and roll. Good dive to the basket type of guy. Always filling the lanes. Gets good box out position. Those type of guys. I think more of that range at the center position is kind of what you need. I like if your center could do a little bit of scoring, that's good. But mainly what you want him to do, great screen setter, great rebounder, can score, is willing to shoot, willing to score. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. Those players can do the trick. The power forward position, I truly think that they're going back to the Rasheed Wallace build. They're looking for that. They're looking for that power. You remember how Rasheed was in Portland, bro? Like that power forward type, rim running, could space out and shoot, could get in the post a little bit, could play in the box, could play pick and pop, pick and roll. They looking for a little bit of everything out of their power forwards, and a team that's starting to put that whole circle together is Cleveland. Look at our boy Jared Allen. You muted. You muted. You muted.
That's another team I was talking about.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
2 7-footers, and they a problem. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like they a problem. You know what I'm
Yes, they
saying?
are. Yes, they are.
Jaron Jackson and Zach Edey, when they play together, that's a problem. And so is
Absolutely.
Cleveland. So that's why I asked that question. Because I'm like 6'9", 6'10", and they going 7 foot with skills and one shot blocker. You know what I'm saying? Jared Allen's more the shot blocker. Not too much skill, but he can rebound and block shots, rim run. And then what's the name? He spread the floor. Score. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and Evan Mobley is starting to work on his outside range and his shot. He started to space out a little bit from away from the basket. And Jared Allen is starting to take advantage of his pick and dive opportunities and one bounce in the lane, floater in the lane, the little touch shot, little hook here, little hook there. Still rebounding the ball, still could dive to the basket, still could block shots. Him and Evan
Right.
Mobley, they like this on defense. They tight.
Right.
So one switch, you go up top, one switch, he beat me, you got my weak side, he run to this side, vice versa. So
Right.
if you have that type of 4 and 5, legitimate 4 and 5, the rest of your team could fill out a certain way. But obviously, because nowadays you could get guards and you could get wings and everything. But like I ain't gonna say you could get wings because it's really only 2 wings in this draft, and that's Cooper and Ace. But
Right.
not to leave that alone. But to stay on the topic, everything that you said about Wolf, guys like Sorba, Maynard, those guys, I think they could be able to do that someday. Um, it may take a little bit more than just coaching. It may take a little bit more guerrilla training. They might need to get swolled up in the arms and everything. They might turn it. They might need to turn into the Credible Hulk. But
Right.
I think the way that they got to do it is through that mold that you was talking about. That Rasheed Wallace, 6'11", close to 7 foot kind of power forward that could defend. Could get out and move away from the basket, move his feet, defend, and move his toes a little bit, and get the foot speed and fly up the court on fast breaks and get to shot blocks like Jared Jackson Jr., Triple J, and Evan Mobley, and your center got to be on some big body, Zach Edey type stuff. Just move out the way, willing to get a good 4 or 5 fouls. Anytime he set the screen, everybody know you gonna have to fight around it. You're not going through this. You're not going through 300 pounds. You're not going through that.
Right.
You got to go around that. You're gonna have to fight around that. You're gonna have to do something else. That fight through the screen, that shit ain't that ain't working. You go over or you go
Not
under.
at all.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it really depends on how we do it. I would like our chances on how it could get done, but I think this off season, everything is gonna be figured out. Come the night of the draft lottery, we gonna know everything we need to know. Cause this right here, this gonna rain again. It's gonna rain again. I gotta give me another one, man. Cause this hat is crispy and everything. Cause I gotta give me another one. I gotta give me like 3 more.
Yeah, I gotta get me another one too. This joint
Yeah,
about
definitely.
done. So y'all heard it here, folks. We will rain again. You heard what my boy Leaf said. Shout out your channel,
Definitely.
Leaf.
Shout out youtube.com/at Leaf4788. I'm up to shout out to all the 285 people that subscribe. All of y'all. I'm trying to work my way to 300. Trying to work on March Madness. I'm trying to work on March Madness. I'm working on my brackets for both the men's and the women's side. I'm a little bit mixed up, but because it take me hours to work on my brackets. More Nets media coming soon. More basketball media coming soon. WNBA season is coming back. Shout out to the championship New York Liberty. That's right, I said it. The championship New York Liberty that did not win a championship in that raggedy ass Madison Square Garden. They run a championship right here in Brooklyn. It was the biggest night in Barclays Center history. And we plan on
Facts.
even doing more this season, man. So shout out to the New York Liberty and shout out to shout out to the owner of the New York Liberty. Obviously, it's not Joe Tsai, it's his wife. His wife is running the show over there, man. So
Right.
shout out to her and everything, man. So WNBA basketball is coming back. Looking forward to March Madness and everything, and definitely, man. So look forward to as much basketball content as I could bring y'all, man. Shout out to my man Ice. I'll let you fold it up, man. Fold it up like a tent, man. Throw it up like a ribbon. Let's get it up on out there,
Yo.
man. Come on.
Yeah, y'all know my motto. Y'all don't have to like, y'all don't have to subscribe, because I don't know anything. You heard? And we out.
Yep, definitely. Appreciate it. Appreciate it,
All right.
Ice.